Good morning, lovely people. So it's Sue's Crystal Wolf from Crowfire Talk. So Spirit have been nagging me the last couple of days. Well, I say nagging me. It's been on my mind. This video has been on my mind. I'm going to move you a little bit. So you're just going to see my hands, and I've got a table full of stuff, which you can see, and we're going to discuss stuff. So very recently, it's sort of come to me about the sort of witchcraft and magical and spiritual community has become so commercialized, and so the consumerism is just off the charts, you know, because people have got on the bandwagon, and you know, they're just huge, great companies selling so-called spiritual, so-called magical tools and things. And yeah, I don't know. Spirit have been trying to let me see parts of my path and where I've been and how I've been. And don't get me wrong, I have bought stuff. So crystals were my main thing in the beginning, and to be honest, there wasn't a lot of things you could buy when I started out. So there were lovely magical creators, you know, that made things. So when you bought something, it was really special, and it was from someone who was really connected spiritually, and a crafty person, an artist, and you know, they were making stuff. Then it started to get commercialized, and I did notice it, but then it was you could buy like these really pretty things. Don't get me wrong, again, I love witchy aesthetic stuff, you know. I definitely would go out and see something witchy-fied, or and think, oh wow. And at some point I did buy things that I then sold and got rid of. And the more that I got into art myself, the more I realized that I could make things that would hold so much better energy. But a lot of the spiritual artists still, you know, buying stuff. I mean, I buy stuff off this lady, Tina Cousins. She is an amazing artist, and I've bought a few things off of her, and my rune cloth that I use and my rune bags were made by her. So buying off someone like that, I think that is super cool and great and fabulous. And buying sometimes from a shop. So say I bought this from Yin and Yang in Glastonbury, obviously handmade, stunning. But obviously nowadays you can get really cheap, rubbishy crap from China and other places, and I just find it really sad. Now, I don't think there's a problem. I'm not a minimalist person. So, you know, my house has ornaments and nicks and knacks and bits and bobs. And I love, you know, going to charity shops. I love antique shops. And again, I think it's down to the individual, down to the person. I think, but I think the main thing is think. Think before you buy. Can you make it? Can you find someone that can make it? We're not all arty, you know. I mean, this wand here is spectacular. But I bought this at a Rock and Gem show, but I knew the guy. He was a Reiki master. And he was making lots of wands at the time. He made wooden wands, and he made stuff out of selenite. This was spectacular. This cost me a lot of money, but I know the work that went into it, and at the time, I just had to have it. I just loved it. But as time has gone on, you know, I've made so many myself. So this wand, which looks like a pen. So this wand connects me in with the air element. It's all about air. It's got the arrow on it. And I just made this. I got a piece of wood. I did some pyrography on it, and I absolutely love it. It feels, you know, obviously different energy, but it feels as nice as that one. But again, he's an artisan. He's, you know, he's a spiritual person that made that wand. And then you've got other more sort of, I mean, this needs a clean, so please excuse because this is silver. Then you've got stuff like this. Now, these are made normally by a crystal-y person, but they're more manufactured. They're not necessarily made by an artisan, but they're not necessarily produced in hundreds of ones, which are now what's coming out of China and things. And a lot of the time, the crystals aren't even actual crystals. And that's not always, but there are a lot of cases where it's not. Now, this wand, I bought this in Tintagel from a crystal shop that is now not there. I had to have this. And this has been one of my most sacred tools. It's Lemurian quartz, it's black tourmaline, it's green tourmaline, it's pink tourmaline, and quartz on the end. And it is powerful, and it's been used a lot in Reiki healings for myself. It cuts through all sorts of crap. It is fantastic, and I love it, and I have never regretted buying it. Something similar, again, excuse the silver tarnished. I should probably polish up my silver bits. This I bought at the Healing Weekend. This is a bit more, again, manufactured as such, and probably quite a few of these have been made. But it felt special, and the crystal's special. And this is what I use when this is my master crystal for Reiki. And I use this in all the attunements I've ever done, all the teaching I've done. It's very special, and you know, I wouldn't go and buy loads more. I don't need loads more. You know, it's quite special in that way. But otherwise, I mean, this I made myself. This is again a Reiki Master one. Beautiful point that I had. I carved out all the antler, and I did some pyrography on it, although it's not very good because burning on antler is quite difficult. And this was done many, many, many moons ago, and I'm much better at pyrography now. This one, again, I've made myself. This was a stunning piece of gem quality kyanite that I bought. And I thought, well, that needs to be used as a tool. It's not a pretty piece on the side. I do have pretty pieces on the side. I have carvings and statues and things, being a crystal person. But I got another piece of antler. I was gifted 2 huge antlers that I chopped all up to make into things. You know, they've become tools and things. So love that one. This one I made. This is to connect in with water element energies, hence the shell. We've got some little, I use clay, and we've got some amethyst on it. I quite fancy, actually, now I'm working with the runes, to put largus on that, and I probably will be doing that at some point. This one wasn't made by me, and I know the crystal people that I bought this off of, they did have many of these. So again, they were manufactured, but probably more by an artisan rather than like a big factory churning them out. But you know, and I love this. This one I bought for rune work. So I haven't got any runes on it, but I connect when I'm doing rune work, and I draw the runes in my hand with it. I draw the runes over things when I'm making things. I draw the runes in the air with it. I love this. The arrow is about truth as protection. So I feel that when I'm doing it, I'm protected as I'm making the rune. I'm also connected deeply, and it brings the truth of each rune out into the piece that I'm working with, or whatever I'm working with. But you know, you can just do things yourself. Pyrography is quite simple actually, because most people that do pyrography use stencils. You can buy metal stencils. You can use carbon paper and draw designs, you know, so you can copy something. This was freehand. This was just me making an uruz, which is my sun rune, making an uruz, a little coaster to put my drinking water on so I can drink up the uruz energy. So as I sort of made this, I connected in with the rune. I did it all spiritually. This is a piece of holly, which is my my Celtic birth tree. And I put the runes on this. So again, I just pyrographized, don't think it's a word, the runes on it. So they're not great because, you know, when you're trying to do something like that, it's difficult. They don't look good. Now, this is why people tend to buy stuff that's done in a manufacturing way, because it looks more aesthetically pleasing in the aspect that it's so perfect. Well, no, actually, this will hold way more energy for me because I picked the tree that it is. And you know, I'm not perfect, so it holds true energy. It holds more authentic. It's got more integrity. You know, manufacturing spiritual tools, although they might look more perfect and more, you know, just more perfect, I suppose, is the only thing I can say. They don't hold the energy. Yes, you can imbue your energy into things, and the more you work with something, the more your energy will get imbued in it. But, you know, you're just giving your money to these people that are really exploiting our corner of the world, you know, our magical, spiritual, witchcrafty part of the world. They're exploiting it. And the thing is, they trap the new people coming into the craft, the new people, you know, starting up on their spiritual path, because they think they need to buy these things, and they need to own these things. Now, you know, did our ancestors, they didn't have carved crystals like this for a start. Okay, this is one of my absolute favorites. I am a crystal person. I bought this a very long time ago. You know, well, I say very long time, good few years back. I mean, a good few years back. It was one that was put in my hand when I wanted to look at it. I bought this from Celestial in Glastonbury. Very respectable crystal shop, very respectable crystal sellers. I trust them. I, you know that they wouldn't buy from unreputable people. But nowadays I struggle buying crystals. I really, really struggle, because I just think the more you grow, the more you think about the earth, you think about what's happening, what we're doing with it. I don't get rid of the crystals I've got. I have moved some on, I've sold some on, because they needed to be out in the world, and they were, you know, they'd finished their job with me. They needed to move on. And I do very, very rarely buy new crystals. I often buy from pre-loved sites. So this I bought a couple of years ago, last year, year before. Saw it on pre-loved. A lady was selling it. I love the lady that I bought it off of. And I just had to have it. It goes with my shadow worky stuff. At the time, I'd just done my painting of a death's head moth and the moon. It was just a piece that felt very, very special, and that went with my practice and what I was doing. And so I did buy it. This piece here is years and years and years old. This piece I bought off of Dolphin Minerals. I'm not sure they're still going. I don't know. And the lady that was on the stall the day that I bought it was the lady that did all my astrology. And she was very, very special. And I picked this up, and she looked at me. She said, "Are you going to have that? Because if you're not, I'm having it." And I said, "No, I really do need it." And I say need, and, you know, it's probably more desire. But the need for me was like, I mean, this is used with my Reiki. This is on my Reiki altar. This is Queen Yin, a carving of Queen Yin. This is more a one-off. This is a very, very special piece of smoky citrine quartz, and someone took the look at it and carved Queen Yin in it. So it's a bit more special. It's not factory, thousands of them out there. I've never seen another one exactly like this, but you wouldn't, because the crystal is unique. It's a very special crystal. So again, that is something. Do I need a statue of Queen Yin to connect with Queen Yin? Absolutely no, I do not. But it is nice, and I love the energy off of it, and I feel I can really connect in with her. And I could have a picture of her. I could write a name on a piece of paper. I could just think of her, you know. We can do that. I'm not saying don't buy things. I mean, my God, I like I said, I am no minimalist, so I have things. Now, I've worked with Carly for years and years and years, and I wanted a Carly statue. And I found this bronze, still got the price on, £49. I wonder why I haven't taken that off, because I didn't really want to spend that much. But it was the only one I could find that was nice and small, that I could have in my hand. Again, do we need statues? No. I mean, if you think about it, there are statues in the world. We've got ancient statues, you know. The ancient Egyptians built statues of gods. The Indian culture, there are statues of Kali and Shiva and Ganeshi. I do have Ganeshi statues, because I've worked with Ganesh. I've got a lovely big Odin statue, which is more manufactured type of thing. I got it off of Amazon. My husband actually bought it for a Christmas present. I would prefer something a bit more not manufactured like that, but I do love it. My husband bought it, so I love that fact that my husband bought it for a start, and it is Odin, and I do like it, but I just feel that it's gone bizarre. It's ridiculous. You know, there's some of these, I'm not going to name some of the companies. I don't think that's fair, really. I mean, there's one that when I was working in Trademark, which was a spiritual shop, we dealt with a couple of big manufacturers, and you know, we had all this generic angels and generic fairies and stuff, and at the time I quite liked them because it made me think of the magical realms and stuff. And I was, you know, I was not this far down the line as I am now. And I see why people coming into the craft and things go for these statues and things and ornaments. I mean, basically, they are ornaments, and most of them are made out of resin and rubbishy stuff. I'm not saying it's totally wrong to buy them, and if you love them, you know, that's fine. I'm just saying, before you make these purchases, really think, can I find something in a charity shop that I can repurpose? You know, could I see an ornament that's been put in there, and could I turn it into a Queen Yingy thing, or could, you know, with Queen Ying's energy, and could I turn something into something else? Could I paint a bowl, and, you know, could I turn something into something? I mean, obviously, the most easiest wand ever to make is go out in nature. If you're going to take from a live tree, please ask the tree and leave offerings. And I do not take from live trees. I just don't. That's just me. I just don't. I take from the ground. Stick them in the airing cupboard for a good while. And then, you know, get them out. If you can't carve them, you know, because like me, I've got problems with my hands and things, and my fibro stops a lot of things, I just get hubby. I get hubby. He's quite happy to sit sanding and, you know, whatever. And, you know, have you got a friend that would do it? Have you got a friend who's really gifted but not into the spiritual, and could you say, oh, I'd like this made? I mean, I have loads of sets of runes. Now, nearly all my runes I've made. But when I first started out, again, I was into crystals, was still into crystals. And I thought, oh my God, I've got to have crystal runes. Obviously, I've got to have crystal runes. And I bought a beautiful set of quartz crystal runes. Oh my God, I never used them. I really do not like crystal runes. They do not do it for me. I like wood. I saw someone on Facebook who was selling runes of blackthorn. I messaged her and I said, could you possibly send me the wood? I don't even mind paying as much for like the wood as if it was a set of runes. If you could send me the slices of the wood of blackthorn, and because I would prefer to make my own runes. And she was really happy to do that. So I got a lovely bag sent in and she made the bag, a leather bag. It was gorgeous, and sent me a whole load of blackthorn slices, and I made a set of blackthorn runes, and they're the runes I use the most. If I see some from some artists, I've bought some off a guy in Bristol, Drexler Studios on Etsy. He does some lovely rune stuff. I fell into him and his sets that he had up there, and I thought, oh my God, they're lovely. I wanted an oak set. Now, to go out and find a piece of oak and then you've got to slice it all, and certainly it's easy if you slice, you know, from a twig like that, but to get square runes and stuff is more difficult. So, you know, sometimes, yes, one, you're helping someone else. It's very much Feu energy to be like spending your money, help someone else that, so that's always good. But Feiyu being sent to a big manufacturer, a big corporate business, I don't want to send it to you. I don't mind sending it to someone who, an artisan or something. But you can buy things from all sorts of places, like garden shops and garden centres and things that do willow garden border things. It comes on a roll and you get loads of twigs like that. That is so perfect. I haven't done them yet. I've done some stuff with them, and they're different sizes. So, and you can make a lovely set of runes, a set of ogham, little tiny wands. I made a beautiful little tiny wand about this big for my my friend, who's also my Reiki master, from her ash tree. So she'd had her ash tree pruned, and I made a beautiful one for her 60th birthday out of, a lovely piece that comes from her own tree. So it means a lot more. Now, these were bought for me for Christmas, and I'm pretty sure these are manufactured. I wanted something to, stand up my cards. I really love them. I must admit, I really do love them. But they'd be so easy to make. So easy to make. This could be a little, person, a little person, a small business, a little person. It might be a little person. It might be a big person. I don't know. It might be a very tall person. But a small business. I'm not sure if it was a small business because, again, hubby bought them for me. That would be the things I would check. Is this a small business? Is it someone that I'm then giving Feiyu energy to, and that helps them to grow their business? I like that. Now, these I bought off Amazon because I don't have the capacity. I can draw with an acrylic paint pen, but these are engraved, and I don't have the diamond trip drills and stuff, and it's very, very hard. And I did buy these, and they were from a spiritual, hopefully a spiritual company in India, but you don't know. But I think they're being manufactured quite heavily, but they are one-off pieces that I constantly use. These are on my altar all the time, and I do really like these. But yes, I could have used some lovely flat pieces, just used an acrylic paint pen. And if I had really sat down and thought about it, I wouldn't have bought these. I would have made them myself. Because it's easy, because, you can use tracing paper to work out the design. And it doesn't matter if they're wonky. I think I did like these because they were so perfect, how they've been done. But they obviously had the machinery to do it. And like I say, very rarely now do I buy crystals. I have to absolutely have the deepest connection. And that happened a couple of weeks ago with this baby. And there's a fabulous story behind this, because I was going to a spiritual hypnotherapist for a while when I moved here for certain things. And also she... her Reiki master is my Reiki master. So she did Reiki, and she was heavily into crystals and crystal skulls like me. And we got on very, very well, whatever her name was. She was amazing. I loved her to bits. She passed away a couple of years ago now of cancer. And she had crystals. She was selling them in an antique shop in Hungerford, where I go often. And I haven't been in that shop where she had her cabinet. And I went in there as I went to Hungerford with a friend, and I went in there, and there was a cabinet full of crystals, and there was quite a few crystal skulls in there. And I thought, oh, it reminded me of Eva straight away. I just thought about her straight away. But there was this just in the cabinet, and it is so dark. I have never known a smoky so dark that isn't Moran. I thought I will look at that before I leave the shop. And we wandered round and stuff. And I said to the lady, can I look at that? And she put it in my hand, and I went, oh, bugger, I'm going to have to go home with that. There was no way I could leave it. It hit me in the solar plexus. And when it hits me in the solar plexus, my seer goes, absolutely, oh my God, yes, buy it. And I said to the lady, oh, it's funny because a lady that I used to go and see used to have a cabinet in here selling crystals. And she said, oh, who was that? And I said, Eva. And she said, oh, my goodness, that is her cabinet, and her husband is still selling them. So this is Eva, and it was a deep connection, and I totally understood why. It just made sense. And when I got home, this guy was like speaking to me. And I just ignored it. And then I've put them now together, and the energy is phenomenal. The only weird thing is they look very, very similar. And when you get them into the light, you get the sunlight go through them. They glow orange. But this was sold to me as brown fluorite. And this was sold as smoky quartz. The only way I can find out truly if this is maybe brown fluorite, or if it is actually smoky, is run a UV light. So I need to do that to see, because they are so similar. The energy feels really the same, almost like they were cut from the same stone. So I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. I think what I'm trying to say with this really, really, really long waffle is really think before you buy. If something truly grabs you, and you'll know in you where it is, for me, it's solar plexus. It's like someone kicks me in the solar plexus so hard. I remember buying this one. This is Isaac, and I use Isaac a lot for any work where I'm working with cards, where I'm doing a reading. He's like my little talking stick. I hold him in my hand while I'm working. Oh my God, I love Isaac. When I saw Isaac, I bought him in Tintagel. And the lady said, oh my goodness, you're the first person to look at him, and he's really, really special. And the lady that had done ceremony with him before he went in the shop, she clears all the crystals, and does some work with them. And she said he is so special, and he has been so special to me. He told me his name was Isaac. That might be a bit too much for some people, but my crystals talk to me, and they tell me names and things, the skulls specifically. And oh my God, I just love him. And he was one of those that there was no way I could walk out of the shop without him. And he's been he's been a partner in my magical crime for quite a long time now, a very long time now. But again, this I bought off Trevor in Glastonbury, who is no longer there. It was Cat and Cauldron and stuff. I bought this years ago, and I didn't know why I had to have it. He's a lion carved from a nut, and it was just beautiful. And then I turned it into my my birth runes wand. This I carved myself. I did get hubby to start me off, so I could find it easier to do. And then I burnt with the pyrography, and just added my birth runes on it. So I've got 3 lovely Feus there with all my Feu energy. My sun rune there, my first thread. No, that isn't my first thread. That's my Nornir's gift, my first thread. My moon rune, that is Odin's chariot, Mercury. And yeah, it's really powerful. This part, yeah, was made by someone, but you've got to think this was hand carved, so it wasn't done on a machine. Someone put this together. Someone obviously was a silversmith and it's got the copper and stuff, and it's stunning. It's way more powerful than if I bought some stupid manufactured wand. Most of the stuff isn't even made out of natural things. So, I mean, how natural is this? You know, copper and silver comes from the earth. The nut is nature, the wood. The only thing with this is I don't know what the wood is, but I don't care. It's fine. It's just stunning. So yeah, I'm saddened. I'm saddened for the new people that are coming into the craft of that. You know, I'm just hoping that there's people that are steering them away from the consumerism that, you know, I mean, please don't buy from these big companies unless it really is something that you know, just absolutely fall in love with and it really makes your heart sing. You buy an Odin statue or something, can you just absolutely love it? Or someone, you know, in your family or friend, you know, they go out and they don't necessarily know and would never think about it, and they see an Archangel Michael statue and they know you love Archangel Michael, and so they buy it for you because they don't think about that side of, you know, the corporate side of it. They just are thinking of you. They're thinking how much they love you. They're thinking how much you work and love Archangel Michael, and to them, you know, and that is a beautiful thing. And I have no problem with that sort of thing. I know you're still giving to the corporate and stuff, but yeah, just I think this video is important. I think it probably could be done by a less waffly person. But I'm just giving you my truth. I'm just, you know, and like I say, I am not minimal. I mean, if you take my craft stuff, you know, I do buy stuff, you know, that obviously is manufactured because, you know, I buy FIMO clay. I buy, you know, all sorts of things that, you know, stamps and stuff. So I do it. It's not, I'm not saying you're all wrong and you shouldn't do it. You know, I buy distress inks, you know, and I have to have different colours and stuff. And so I am buying like that, certainly in the craft world, you know, because it's, but there are people who now say, oh, you know, you can make ink yourself by doing this, or, you know, eco prints and stuff, you know, eco dyes and things. So there are people doing that more and more on the craft side, and there are much more people who craft people buy. They are consumers, unfortunately. We just do, because normally we like different crafts as well, and they intermingle with stuff. So it's a mixed media, eclectic. You know, I'm eclectic all through. I'm eclectic in life. I'm eclectic in clothes and stuff like that. I'm eclectic in my spiritual. I'm eclectic in my craft. I'm eclectic in music that I like. You know, I like from bloody heavy rock to I don't know, bloody country and western. I love Charlie Pride. I love Metallica. You know, David Bowie is my hero. So I am really eclectic in every aspect of my life. So it is very difficult for someone that's eclectic. You know, I can walk around a antique shop and I could buy something from every age and millions of different things, you know, but, you know, luckily money doesn't allow me to do that, but I love wandering and looking. But, you know, so it is difficult when you're eclectic or when you're doing crafts, but spiritually think before you buy. Do you really need it? You know, are you giving money to a lovely artisan that, you know, is you know, making a living, little small shop, or are you giving to huge, great big corporations that fat cats sitting there just raking it in? Oh, look, these silly spiritual people, let's bloody sell them all this stuff. I mean, the amount of unruthless, unscrupulous, awful crystal sellers there are nowadays. Oh my God, in my day, you didn't have that. You know, when I started out, you had real proper people. And a lot of the crystals that I bought in the beginning were actually from China, because the guy went out to China. But they were artisans. They were, you know, there were Chinese artisans sculpting crystals and, you know, engraving and carving beautiful statues and things. It's not like it is now. I do feel real sadness, and I feel sorry for the people coming to spirituality now. You know, books are one thing, because books, yeah, it's knowledge and stuff. And I'm a book person. Tarot cards, I mean, my God, now look at the amount. I've got a new set of cards coming tomorrow. I do buy cards. I have sold loads of my cards, and then I've bought more new cards. And I think that's natural, because we grow and change. But again, you know, think, have you got enough on your shelf? There are collectors. I was a crystal collector, so I was collecting. But I do have special tools as well. But I love crystals. I love them. But now I'm so discerning what I buy. I might buy something for someone else if I, you know, like I said, I can see a little face in this crystal here at this. Yeah, there's a little face right there. Very interesting. I don't think you're going to get it on camera. There, can you see it? There's a face. Oh my goodness. It's like a woman's face. Wow. Yeah. So that's this well, I don't know. Is it ranting? Was I ranting? I don't know if I was ranting. And it's a long one. But I had to get it out. Yeah, I just had to get it out. And I feel better now. I've done the video. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think and stuff. I think it's a really interesting topic at the moment. It feels very relevant right at this moment as well. Maybe because we're in the new moon of Tiwaz today, and we're also Suelo's in Tiwaz, and there's tons of Tiwaz energy out there. And that, you know, there's justice in that, and I feel there's morality and things to look at, and, you know, think of the planet, think of the corporate fat cats before you give them any more money. Think of you know, can I get that from an artisan? Can my friend make me that, because I'm not arty? Can I have a go? Can I try and be creative? You never know what might come out of you having a go yourself. You know, make your own wand, make your own runes, make your own tarot cards. You know, there's tons we can do. We can use existing things we have, so you can stick and glue crystals on things, you can add things, you know, like my runic wheels that I'm making, and that's out of scrap. That's scrap leather that I was given from the lady that makes all sorts of bags and cloths and beaters and drums and all sorts of stuff. So and then the willow circles, her and her husband cut and pick the willow and make the circles. So it's all, you know, and then I just add in my own bits, some crystals on it and some bits and pieces. And they're not rocket science. They're really easy. I mean, even if you're not artistic, it's very easy to make certain things. Look it up on YouTube. There might be someone doing it, you know, and yeah, I'm going to go now because I've waffled on for 45 minutes. And I will see you in the next one. Hopefully I might get up today a new moon in Tewaz reading. I want to do some cards, and hopefully that'll be up today sometime maybe this evening. Yeah, love and blessings. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.